name is Kelly Gaines, and I have a bachelor's in construction management and an MBA. I'm continuing my education to further develop my skills in art, so I'm taking a few art studio classes, including this photography course. So the focus of my work has primarily been of animals, nature, history, and architecture. I had been around animals most of my life and have traveled to many of the states, often going into many national parks. The history that I am mostly interested in is from the last about 100 years because it is close enough to my lifetime that I can understand and relate to the most. I can see how many things in the last century directly shape how society is today, whether it is inventions, societal changes, nature, or buildings. Additionally, many people in this era have listened to stories from family and friends, or are the ones who lived through it. I also find that it is important to know the past, as it can show why society is the way it is today. The Draw to History is shown in my series titled History of Alton. I decided to do this project because Alton is a city local to me with a rich history. The series is a work in progress in which I have 10 images so far, 6 of which are seen in this exhibition. This series compares present-day images of the city of Alton with historical images of the city. To show this comparison, I merged the 2 photographs together within Photoshop with the old photo transparently laid upon the new photo. Because Alton is also well known for many of the haunted locations, I found it important to include the old photographs' time period elements like people, wardrobes, and vehicles, and the process of having the old photo transparent to help give that ghostly, haunted feeling. I was inspired to do this project because of a previous photography professor I had who talked about a couple projects like this. He told me that surveyors would not only gather information for creating maps, they would sometimes take photographs of the locations they are at. This led to a few photographers finding these locations years after the original photograph was taken, and then retaking the photograph years later to show the differences. Some of these projects include Timothy O'Sullivan's helping work with the Wheeler Survey Project, and the USGS creating a project titled USGS Repeat Photography Project. This had sparked my interest as I had taken a couple survey courses when I was going for my construction degree, but did not know they would sometimes take photographs. Since I was also interested in history, I found it an interesting idea to pursue. For this project, I found that Alton has a long history that goes way back to even before the Civil War. While this was from more than 100 years ago, history overall is interesting to me, and through these events, I can see how the war greatly influenced the area. The image titled Lovejoy Bench was taken at the Elijah Lovejoy Monument, which is dedicated to Elijah Lovejoy. He was well known for his views on anti-slavery, which led to his murder by a pro-slavery mob. The prison for Confederate POWs was located in Alton, which led to both a military cemetery and monument dedicated to the Civil War, which is seen in the image entitled Civil War Monument. In addition to the Civil War, Alton is like many other cities where buildings can come and go or still be standing today. Some locations have had many different buildings, like the image Tavern, which is now the Oasis Women's Shelter. Some locations have the same buildings stand tall for many years, but aren't used anymore, as seen in the images of Grand Theater and Stratford. Finally, some buildings are still being used today for their original purpose, as seen in College Life from the Lewis and Clark Community College campus. When viewing this work, I expect the audience to wonder more about Alton and its history. I also hope that it encourages viewers to look past a current building's purpose and to be curious about its past, whether in their hometown or in their travels. It's important for history to not not be overlooked. As the U.S. historian Henry Glassy states, history is not the past, but a map of the past, drawn from a particular point of view to be useful to the modern traveler.